These are the 7 laws of LinkedIn that the biggest accounts use to dominate the platform. They're what made me the #1 female creator on LinkedIn. I've spent over $30,000 on courses, coaches, and agency to learn these laws, so listen closely, because no one is talking about this yet. And it's exactly what you need if you want to get ahead. So, law #1 is to strategically make fast connections. Here's what I mean. Do you ever feel like LinkedIn isn't pushing your content into the algorithm? Well, that's because you need to make more fast connections. See, LinkedIn, unlike any other platform, works on a connection-to-connection basis. There's first, second, and third connections. Fast connections means you're directly connected with someone, so there's a mutual connection agreement here. Second connections means that you are connected to their first connections, but not directly connected. And third connections means that you are connected with the second connection, which is the furthest of reach. Now, the interesting thing is that whenever you post, your post is initially shown to a pool of your first connections only. And if your first connections engage with your post, then LinkedIn pushes your post to their second and third connections. Let me show you. If we go onto the LinkedIn feed, you can see posts from your first connections. Then the only way you see posts from second or third connections is if someone in your first connections liked it. It's the same with your content. So to maximize your chances of visibility, you need to connect with people every single day to expand that pool of active first connections. Most people have had their LinkedIn for years, if not decades. Some of them may not be active anymore, and some of them may just not be interested in the content that you're posting now. It happens, especially if you had different jobs throughout your LinkedIn journey and have connected with people in those jobs. Now, fixing this is relatively easy. All you need to do is find active people who fit into your ideal audience to connect with directly. This will flood your LinkedIn with active users who are interested in what you have to say, giving you a better chance to bypass the LinkedIn ranking system and improve your visibility. To do this fast, you can use the sniper method. Go to an active creator or founder in your niche, look at their comments and find people that meet your connection criteria. Let's say I'm looking for entrepreneurs and CEOs, then I quickly skim their comment section, then I look at their headlines where they most likely identify themselves as that, then I right-click on their profile name so I can have their profile open on a different tab, then I do this 10 to 20 times, then I engage with their content and then send them a personalized connection request. The key here is to keep it short, add a unique sentence, and end with a compliment or a reference to what you and them have in common. But as LinkedIn grows and your ideal connections get spammed with connection requests, you need to have good content on your profile. Which leads me to law #2, master writing for LinkedIn. Like any other social media, there is one universal rule. The hook must grab people's attention within the first few seconds, but on LinkedIn, there is way more to it. Every LinkedIn post you make should act as a mini reintroduction post of who you are and how you help. And to get the most attention per second, you need to provide all the value up front. A good text hook will always start with outlining a problem. The hook right here does that. It's less than 10 words and it's straight to the point. Then in sentence 2, we agitate it and add what we call a rehook. This emphasizes on what you're saying and makes people click on read more. And on sentence 3, we then provide a direct solution to the problem. This way, we have half our post already written for us and it looks better than 60% of LinkedIn content that's filled with buzzwords, paragraphs, and jargon. But what people forget is that the rest of the post needs to have the exact same rhythm. Sentence by sentence, line by line, you should be able to read every single one of them on its own. To continue writing, we must add rhythm to it. Varied sentence lengths, bullet points, and most importantly, make it sing, not skip. I do this in every single line of my own posts where the lines don't just speak, they flow. And at the end, we have a complementary image that ties it all together. Use this exact same framework when you write your next LinkedIn post. You'll see a clear difference in your engagement and clarity of the post that you're writing. Now, the third law to blow up your LinkedIn goes hand in hand with posting. It's commenting. And why I love this law, it's because it doesn't require you to stick to the post every day, 3 times a day hamster wheel that has been pushed by us by so many marketing experts over the last decade. Commenting on LinkedIn doesn't require any writing mastery, and for anyone who's trying to grow, this is the best solution to do it. Let me explain. On LinkedIn, you get to post maybe once or twice a day, and then your post gets pushed to the people who follow you and are connected with you and so on. But with comments, you can be seen 10, 20, and even hundreds of times. Your comments get seen by the author and their audience. So collectively, if you decide to comment on 10 different accounts every single day, and each account has around 10,000 followers, these followers will see your comments. And if your comment is good and it resonates, then it will get pushed all the way to the top as a top comment, showing it to even more people who may not follow you. This comment right here got 200 likes and 2 inbound leads without even having to post on my main profile. And the best part about commenting is that they don't have to be perfect. They just need to resonate. Focus on the quality in your content and go for quantity in your comments. Just don't use AI to do your comments, please. Now, law number 4 is sending DMs. Look, LinkedIn is a gold mine for lead generation and growth, and you know this by now. But in order to get the gold, you need a shovel. And on LinkedIn, that's the DMs. Over the last decade, they've been incredibly misused. Pitch slaps with generic templates, low quality connection invites, and not to mention the endless let's exchange synergies or can I pick your brain type of message. This is literally your competition right now. So with a little bit of creativity and some value to offer, you can actually outperform 99% of your competitors. The simplest way to get around this is to start a conversation. Instead of sending the typical, hey, let's exchange synergies, or hey, I saw you do B2B, I sell B2B to B2B people, let's connect. Instead of doing all of that, you find mutual ground. Now, let's say that I just came back from a local conference in London. I see that, let's call him Jim, was there too, and he would be a great connection or a lead. My first message to him would be like, hey Jim, I'm exhausted from business growth event in London. I see you were there as well. Did you manage to grab some of the free snacks in the front? So what I'm really doing here is I'm asking a question that's not intrusive, and I'm also not asking him to give me his money right away. It's a simple yes or no answer, and it's also kind of funny and it's warm because we share a mutual event. And usually, and the best part of this is that if there's some interest, they'll usually reply, and if they're really not interested at all, then they're ghost, right? And if they do reply, then you can go back and forth, have a casual conversation, then you can talk about what you guys do, and after a few messages, you get onto the topic you actually want to discuss, because then you've earned the right to ask. There's a logical progression in these conversations. You lead with fun and end with value instead of a transaction. Now, moving on to law number 5 is to focus on high quality images. LinkedIn is a positioning game, and the quickest way to gain authority is via the photos you use. This matters a lot because how people see you is how they perceive you. Visually, you need to be showing your reader that you are worth listening to by the way you're presenting yourself, or worth listening to by the way you're presenting your information. This photo here screams rookie. In fact, this single photo here changed the entire way I was perceived on the platform. It repositioned me completely. So, the photos you post on LinkedIn need to follow these 3-step criteria. 1, they need to be up close, ideally showing your face clearly. This builds trust. Then secondly, they have to be well lit, high quality, and have a good angle. This reflects your quality. And 3, ideally, a reflection of your brand on LinkedIn. They need to be clear, bright, and easy to read, and have one specific outcome and always visually appealing to other people's desires. In this specific case, for example, it was growth, which was clearly shown in various ways. See, perception is one of the greatest forces when it comes to building your personal brand on LinkedIn. It's the reason why brands such as Nike and Apple spend millions on visual branding, because perception sells. Not just the copy of their ads, but also the visuals that stop your scroll or even stop you in the street. And the biggest way to wrap my head around this for me was, if the person that I love following on LinkedIn wouldn't post this, then why would I? And if I can't post stuff like they do just yet, then how can I start? And this whole positioning game on LinkedIn with visuals leads me perfectly into today's sponsor, Fiverr, which I hold deeply in my heart as it's one of the first platforms I've ever used to get gigs and where I've hired freelancers for a wide range of projects, including some logo design. My first logo for the agency was actually a one-day idea executed by Fiverr's amazing freelancers. And if I was trying to make a visual impact on LinkedIn, I'd go and find someone like Lucy here, who's local to me and available within the next week to hire her for a day or two to take some photos. Or if I was you and I was starting from zero, I'd go for someone like Suleiman here, who's got amazing reviews, and I'd get him to create some amazing social media carousels or infographic templates that I could use for my LinkedIn or Twitter and even Instagram if I wanted to. I've turned to Fiverr for years. It's so easy to search, filter, and hire talented freelancers on your own time. And the communication on the platform is always seamless, it's fast, and it's effective. There's a limitless amount of things that you can accomplish with Fiverr, and honestly, my first logo is what's gotten me here in front of you today. So if you want to find skilled freelancers providing services in graphic design, marketing, and so much more, visit fiverr.co/Lara and use promo code Lara for 10% off for your first order. Now, law number 6 is pinned comments. These are comments you leave under your own post but automatically get ranked as top comment because you are the author. Here, you have a golden opportunity to drive traffic to an offer, a new product, or even an event that you're hosting. Because again, you can only post once or twice a day, but you can always comment more. And I want you to listen to this tip closely because posting about your offer won't get you the results that you want, but commenting about it on every single one of your posts will. So instead of crowding your post with a long CTA that ruins the flow of your post and makes it sound salesy, you can always leave it as a pinned comment underneath every single one of your posts. This hack, in fact, made me $10,000 last year from plugging my LinkedIn playbook I was selling. I never posted about it, I only commenting about it existing. What I did here was I built trust via the value on that post, then I converted it via the pinned comment, leading people to my paid resource. This is extremely underrated because if you think about it, people who are looking at your comments are already at a higher interest level than your typical cold follower, meaning that the traffic and conversion to those comments is higher. Now, the last and final law is to stop scheduling your content on LinkedIn. I can literally count with my hand the amount of times I've scheduled content this year. The reason? It decreases your reach. This is a proven fact. See, posting is like a snowball. Start small, but the more you push it forward, the bigger it gets and the faster it moves. And most people are killing it before it gets going because they're scheduling their content and they kill their momentum. Last year, I tested this theory and my engagement would drop by 10%. Look, the reality is that scheduling tools add an extra layer of automation that LinkedIn can detect. And even if we assume this isn't true, let's pretend this doesn't happen, it's never happened to me, every time I schedule content, it's fine, right? But when you schedule your own content, you're actually gearing yourself to forget about it because that's pretty much the goal when scheduling your content. It's almost like a set and forget, right? You're scheduling your content to get ahead, and when you're at work, you don't actually want to, think about posting and you don't even want to be on the platform. But like I mentioned earlier, commenting is crucial in this LinkedIn growth game, especially during that first hour your post is being rolled out. During my come up on LinkedIn, I religiously blocked my time on my calendar from 12 to 1:30 p.m. My posting time was 12:30, and during the 30 minutes before, I'd warm up my feed by leaving comments on other people's posts. And naturally, due to the law of reciprocity, you're gearing up people to come check out your profile and also leave a comment back. This just happens naturally because we're humans. Then at 12:30, I'd drop my post and reply to every single comment I'd get within the first hour. Now, obviously, depending on the success of my post, I'd start replying to every single comment in that same hour, or if I didn't have that much engagement to fill up that allocated time, I'd go onto my feed and engage with more people who posted within that time. This exact same routine is the snow for your snowball to get bigger and ultimately gain more momentum to get bigger. And there we go. Those are the 7 laws you need to know to grow your LinkedIn at rocket speed. Apply these over the next 6 months and watch yourself get ahead of everyone else. And if you want an in-depth strategy to writing and posting on LinkedIn, make sure you watch this video right here where I cover exactly what you need to know to write about and how. Remember, my friends, the devil is in the detail, so I hope you took some notes. See you in the next one. Bye.